Yo, what is happening? You are watching day 14 of the Couchdoodles live Inktober edition. Today we are doing the word overgrown. I've got some ideas. Obviously, there's overgrown plants and overgrown population and anything that's overgrown, super tall, all those sort of great things. But we're in. Like I said, you are watching the Couchdoodle show. We got a little bit of vibe happening over here to the left of your screen with my moon man. My lovely wife gave that to me for our anniversary back in August 28th, same day as Jack Kirby's birthday. It was not planned. That was serendipitous. I'm happy it happened. Here's the shot you guys are used to seeing. This is the wider shot. I'm trying to figure out some lighting scenarios. I'm also figuring out how to get the green screen working. I also found out through some other things how I can get to share my computer screen, not just my iPad screen, but my computer screen. So I will be able to do some Photoshop demos and different things at a different day. I'm really excited about the idea of doing green screen live. It's interesting. The way I have to port that through is through sharing a screen, running an app that does the comp. So it's sort of a multitude of things, but those are the things that excite me. Speaking of things that excite me, I told you guys about sculpting. And yesterday I tried the very first time to do a face. I use Super Sculpey. My buddy Jason told me that I need to fill it with some tin foil so I can have something a little more firm to press against. And I know what he means because as you're holding it in your hand, it's different. I'll show you what I came up with. So this would be the very first one. It's about the size of a quarter. No reference used. I like to do things from my imagination first. And then when reference is needed, I'll pull it in. But I like putting my head through the paces. Today was a busy day. I worked on several jobs at once. I woke up extra early and worked on Doom Patrol and then worked on Legacies and got my He-Man approvals on my issue 3 layouts with only one or two changes, one of which I gave a little pushback on because there were legit reasons for the way I did it versus the way it was scripted. And Tim Seeley, the amazing writer, and I had a discussion about it, and he was fully on board. We're going to try to get Tim on the show as well. I talked to him today. He and his wife, Paula, recently had a baby girl, and he's feeling the vibe of being a new dad. It's their first, so I'm super excited for him. But he's really down to be on the Couchdoodles show, whether it be through Skype or Google Hangouts or in person. I want to do more of these in person. I just have to figure out how to get the internet to work. I want to bring my dBs down on my mic. I was noticing it's coming in a little hot. So I'm fixing that right now. Hopefully that's a little better. Let's see who's in the house right now. We got Chauncey. What up, Chauncey? Thank you for the advice on Instagram to put the link in there. It's weird. I find that it usually takes me about 10 times to put a link. I go into edit, profile, add link, and then they'll say something like an error has occurred. Try again later. So I keep trying, and eventually I do it. It's like when I put the Airship Notebooks, when I put the Airship Notebooks link in there, the day of launching, it was so frustrating because it had taken so many different attempts to get it done. But it's a really great idea to put the direct link, and then have people look for it. Let's see who else is in the house. Mr. Green, man, how was that wedding, sir? I hope it was a good one. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Ethan, hello. Mr. Milton, sexy lighting. Yeah, I'm trying to mess with the lighting. So I've got, I'll show you what I can do. I've got really cool setup going on. I have something called Magic Hue, and I can make it real Halloween-like, orange the lights out, make it like kind of orange. You guys are used to this sort of purple vibe. I decided to switch it over today to the blue vibe because I was feeling blue, but not blue in the sad sense, but blue in the in just feeling the color blue. I don't know. I just like the color blue today. And of course, these little orange lights behind me are great. Here's our little vibe. So if I say, you are watching the Couchdoodles show with your host, Fragaboom, I can do that. And see how I'm constantly having to look down and do all this adjustment? It's like it's my musical instrument, except it's a visual instrument. And I'm hoping, Matt Yackey, soon, when the timing is right, you will come and direct all of this, because I need it. Today's libation is a Chianti. It's a brand called Da Vinci, spelled and said just like the famous Renaissance maestro genius Leonardo da Vinci Chianti. I haven't had my first sip yet, but I will when it's time. Yeah, blue and orange collide very nice. They do. So I noticed nobody had any questions for me in the comments, which was kind of a bummer because I really, yo, what up, Akuma? I'm really avid fan of the fact that there's some topics to talk about. Some of the topics that I think about, like today they released the news of casting a Catwoman with Zoe Kravitz. That's Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz's daughter. I think it's an excellent casting choice. I always like the casting back in the day on the TV show. I was a big Julie Newmar fan. Who wouldn't be? What was the saying? Hate to see you leave, but love to watch you go. That's a Julie Newmar. And Eartha Kitt, she really embodied the character. I felt like she was the most cat-like of them all. So I like that Catwoman could be anyone. I wasn't a huge fan of Anne Hathaway's, which, I just wasn't. Michelle Pfeiffer's, of course, that's classic. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that and see what Robert Pattinson does with the role. I know the guy had a hard go after doing Twilight. That thing received a lot of flack, and everybody involved had sort of an uphill climb afterward. But it made a lot of money, and we'll see. But he does kind of feel a part to me. Of all the Bruce Waynes, I think the only one I didn't really buy was Val Kilmer. That's just me. That's my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Mr. Yackey, you're in the house. That's good. Like I was telling them, man, it gets a little difficult running this thing and keeping my head down and all of that. But it's okay. I don't mind. I want to show you guys some music I made today. The computer is finally fixed. I got all my plugins all set. So what we're going to hear right now, I'm going to hit mute myself, and you're going to hear the beat I made today. And there you have it. That was a beat that I made as soon as I got my Logic up and running and got all my plugins reauthorized and all of the hierarchy of the files going to the right instruments. I was able to make that beat, and it was fun. And the thing that is really fun about that stuff, and we may do some music crafting on some of the future shows, but that particular piece of music had 3 samples in it, but not samples in the way that you're used to hearing them. Like, it's not like a melody like Queen's Under Pressure, like Ice Ice Baby, or Super Freak for Can't Touch This. I'm going way back on those. What I did is I took a song that I liked and drums that I liked. So I like Michael Jackson's Wanna Be Startin' Something, and there's an opening part of that goes. Well, that snare, that kick, and those hi-hats are so clear and separated. I was able to sample it, chop them up, gate them out, and create instruments out of them. So I sampled the Michael Jackson instruments, but programmed my own beat. So that is what I like to do. What up, XYZ in the house? Good to see you, my friend. This is good to have you back. I wanted you to see my Moon Man. This is my dude, the Moon. He's a happy guy. And this is some mood lighting that we're going to do. Today's prompt word is overgrown. So I've got a couple ideas. Let's see. What would be your all-time favorite Marvel villain? Oh, man. It's kind of a toss-up, and one of them is because I like the visuals on him, and always have as a kid, as an adult. There are so many things you can do with this character as a visual, because of the fact that he's got scales. He rides a hover thing that leaves smoke trails. He's got a satchel. He's got a crazy face and a hat that flaps in the wind, and he throws pumpkin bombs. You know I'm talking about Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. I'm always partial to Spider-Man, guys. And then if we were to take my favorite villain out of all the villains, a lot of people won't guess it, but he has to be written a particular way. But Frank Miller's version of the Kingpin. Love him, because he's very human, and you can kind of understand where he's coming from. A lot of the guys like Dr. Doom, and they're awesome villains, but they're kind of like kind of mustache twisty guys. Not to say that Green Goblin isn't, but he's just a little more like crazy, like the Joker or something. But Green Goblin and Kingpin would be up there. But let's just say I love Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery. I love Rhino. I love Scorpion. I love Electro. I love all the Sinister Six, Sandman, Doc Ock. Like that gallery, they're just so fun to look at and so fun to draw. And we always get into the off debate of Batman's villains versus Spider-Man's villains, who the best. And while I like most of Batman's villains, I really don't like. I like them all, but I don't adore any of them. Whereas on Spider-Man's, it's like, Doc Ock, come on, he tried to marry Aunt May, and like he's just like every single one of those villains. It's like they're cool. I like all their backstories, and Penguin's cool, Joker's cool, Ra's al Ghul is pretty cool. That rhymes. Let's see, we got a Frega freestyle. Who's my favorite Batman actor / movie? Wow, that's a tough one. This is going to be completely for nostalgia reasons, and I was entirely wrong when I found out about his casting. But I'm going to say Michael Keaton. I loved his Batman. He ushered sort of a new thing in, and you have to remember for us at the time, Adam West was it. So that Keaton's version was such a departure that feeling of that departure still sits with me. Yeah, there have been like technically better Batman. Like Christian Bale's a pretty good Batman. I'm not a big fan of the gruff voice, but I like his Batman. I like his Bruce Wayne. But that's Michael Keaton. Frega freestyle. Maybe we'll get one. How many times have you spit on that new beat so far? only a couple. I wanted to see how it worked. I run into a bit of a dilemma when it comes to freestyle and making music. I'm a huge fan of almost all of hip hop, and I'm not one of those guys who's going to talk trash on new hip hop, the mumble rapper scene, and that. There's some stuff that I like in there. I like a lot of the production coming out of the new scene. Not necessarily new, but Mike Will Made It and Metro Boomin and Mustard and London on the Track. There's a lot of guys out there that are making stuff sonically that I like, but it's weird. My tendencies go towards boom bap, and I know they have a new category of rap. They either call it dad rap or grown man rap, and essentially what it is anybody that's still likes the Wu-Tang Clan, anybody that still likes Joe Budden, anybody that still likes hearing I would say even someone like I said his name. Oh, there we go. Action Bronson. Someone like Action Bronson is a throwback, obviously, because he's busting on Ghostface. Mac Miller a little bit is a throwback. Macklemore is a bit of a throwback, but I'm finding that my natural inclination is not the new style with the triplet raps, and you know what the triplets are. It's like the everything's in triplets. Sometimes it's 7. Like if I say, look at the flick of the wrist, it's and I know there's that Snoop Dogg meme, but it's like that. If you listen to the Migos, it's this sort of triplet thing. I don't look down on it. I actually think it's a little harder, and you got to find things that flow in triplets. So it's a different kind of rhyme scheme, and it's a different challenge. Sometimes I feel like, I have to be objective and not super subjective about it. I have to kind of come out of myself and say, hey, am I one of those middle-aged dudes that says, Zeppelin was better, the Stones were better, and I'm in my garage with my homies playing my guitar, thinking about the good old days. Am I that guy? Because I like that kind of rhyme scheme. I still like the old school, and I listen to someone like Big L, and I still love it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I love spitting, so obviously I tested out that beat, but part of me wants to spice it up a little bit and make it a little more current, and not to necessarily please the masses, but more so to throw a wider net. Because I believe I have some things to say, and I think lyrical content is very important. I saw something really interesting the other day. It was a piece of media, not necessarily from the media, but it was talking about how the for-profit prisons, a lot of the people that have a stake in them are also the same companies that own music, big record labels. And some of their clauses in their contracts is that they're supposed to maintain a 90% population of the prison in order to keep their contract the way it is. So when you see stuff like that, and the conspiracy is that they have music that encourages getting incarcerated. And I have to be honest, a major part of me believes that. And not because of the conspiracy part. I just see a lot of inequality out there. I see a lot of systematic oppression of our brothers and sisters of color and of different gender preferences, but a lot to do with our friends of color. There are things systematically that are in play that cause the things that people reach for. You see some anti Black Lives Matter, and a lot of angry white people, and they reach for these things like, oh, they weren't so lazy, or if they weren't so on welfare, or they weren't drunk, or whatever it may be. But a lot of those things that those fingers are being pointed at. Like, welfare was designed and kept this way, in my opinion, to keep people dependent on somebody, and that dependency creates votes. You're going to vote for the guy that gave you a handout, you know what I'm saying? And there's gerrymandering for districts, for voting. I know I'm going completely off topic right now. I'm not even talking about creativity. I'm just telling you how I feel regarding that scenario. But along those lines, the reason I brought that up is some of the things that I want to talk about when I do actually cut my record are real things. And I don't know how well that's going to go over, or if it's going to be suppressed, because obviously I could talk about smoking herb and drinking whiskey and getting lit up and driving my diesel Jetta. You better. I make that cheddar. I could be talking like that, and I can be doing stuff. But like one of my songs that I did called Nike That was more about motivation, taking a look in the mirror and seeing yourself for who you are and who you're supposed to be, and saying no to those voices inside your head and going for it. Just Nike That, which is just do it, and imagining and aiming for that goal. So I have songs like that. I told you the songs like I Love Mexico, which is, Trump has his I Hate Mexico and all these other things, but I've been to several parts of Mexico: Cancun, Valladolid, Durango, Tijuana, Ensenada. I've been to all those places, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them. This impression of dirty, filthy, criminal, prostitutes and gangsters is completely overblown. So I wanted to do a song like that. I got another song called it's this one actually right here that's playing, and the hook goes like this: woke up in the morning and I go outside, I take a deep breath. You know that Linda Perry thing, but instead of woke up in the morning and I go outside, I say I wake up in the morning and I go online and I can't believe what's in my timeline. I got to work on the double line because I don't like those double line raps. But it's what's going on. They say what's happening, what's going on. Let's keep it right. So much is wrong, and I basically talk about like garbage, how we fill ourselves with garbage, and a lot of like I go on Twitter, and thank you. That was my automated Amazon thing that's listening to me, and I know all of these devices. Like, have you ever had someone, if you got an Alexa, cancel, if you got one, and people say, oh, that thing's listening all the time. Well, so is your phone, man. You've got lenses, multi-microphones. You have your friend's microphones, like the thing in Batman where Lucius Fox, the thing that he crushed, but he was able to isolate where someone was by using all the cell phones. That was an idea that was thought of because it's completely possible. So I don't know. I'm for pushing for good, and that's what I want my music to be about. So that, again, was some long-winded stuff. You are watching the Couchdoodles Show with your host, Fragaboom. We are back. Today's word is going to be overgrown. We're going to do it digitally because it's a little easier. I'm finding that when I set up that a lot of times it gets a little cramped. We'll do some more live drawing eventually, but this goes a little quicker. And being that the He-Man layouts got approved today, I will be doing these slightly shorter than usual. We've been going like an hour and 40 and some of them around there. Some were over 2. I got to keep it at a hard hour and 30 max because I need to be in bed no later than 11 because I need to get up at 5. I need to get my day started, and I have to start doing these 16-hour days again. So, and I'm not going to skip out on you guys, so I'm going to do it every night, but I have to be able to get my pretty eyes rested. So let's take a look at our chat window and see what's happening out there. Green Goblin, yes. G'day, Couchdoodlers. What's up? Dawn Sword. Very huge fan of Kingpin. Yeah. Wilson the Fisk Master. Those are all great. Venom. Yeah, I should have said something. Keaton should be the next Batman. Bring it full circle. Heck yeah, dude. Make him like the Dark Knight. Like the one in Miller's Dark Knight. I love it. Hey, what's up, D? Good seeing you. Let's see. Dark mode, Frega. Yo, what up, Andre? Yeah, for-profit prisons need to be illegal. There's no reason. There's no reason. Like, it's just the ideas of quotas. When it comes to human beings as a commodity, will corrupt instantly. Think about that. Human beings are a commodity for a for-profit organization. And the way that they're used as a commodity is by their incarceration. And then they're able to do cheap labor, like on pennies on the dollar. They're able to feed them garbage. And, you know, I'm not saying people that are in prison don't belong in prison. Plenty of them do. But, like, small crimes like, you know, think about this. 15 years ago, if I had a little tiny bag of weed on me and I went into Vegas and for some reason, let's say I was with a buddy that punched somebody and they needed to search all of us, I would have gone to jail and possibly been in jail for a long time. And now you could, there are big giant billboards that say, right here, right here, right here, come and get it. It's the best in town. Bow, bow, bow. Which was it? Because 15 years ago it was one way and now it's another. So obviously I think there's some big precipice and chasm between the right and wrongs. But yeah, I'm with that. Illegal for profit when you turn a human being into a commodity in that way. Let's see. Parole Cali Youth Authority. Kids on probation live in group homes owned by people in the criminal justice system. Yeah. In the Fed. What does in the Fed mean? Like in the federal? Or in this feed? I don't know what you mean, but I know it's not in this feed. Check out my Moon Man. I just figured I'd give you guys a little bit of Moon Man here. I'm going to change our lighting scenario just for the poops and giggles. Watch this. You want to see this thing turn into a real scenario? Watch this. Hey, everybody. It's a regular lit place. Then we can go back into something like something. Yeah, I like that. The Halloween aspect. Get a little bit of Halloween in there. Let's see if we got any questions. What does "in the Fed" mean? Devontae T. What did I walk into? I don't know, man. What did you walk into? You were watching the Couchdoodles show. I'm your host, Fragaboom. It's good to see you, man. I think you're a new guest. Want to say hello and welcome. Today we're drawing the word overgrown. I'm drinking a fine Chianti made by Da Vinci. You're listening to music that I made because I don't want to get shut down. But I did see a funny meme today. Somebody had said, it was somebody said it on Twitter, but then it started making the rounds as a meme, and it said, if you ever make a sex tape, make sure you have Disney music playing in the background and Disney posters up because it'll get taken down. Like, taken down. So you don't have to worry about your sex tape. Pretty funny. Trick or treat. Oh, yeah, Federal Reserve. Yeah, times have changed, man. Times have seriously changed. I'm going to go back to the blue. The red light's making me feel like I'm in Amsterdam. Damn it. Blue light, blue light. All right, I'm going to activate our friend, the iPad over here. And we can start drawing the word overgrown. I'll have my eye on some questions if you guys would like. Me get this guy situated. Oh, I keep doing that. I gotta hold it down. Do this. Start broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Monday to you. Tomorrow is my stepmother's birthday. I'm gotta call her and my aunt, who's they are twins. Wish them happy birthdays. They both live in California, so I don't get to see them as often as I would like to anymore. But eventually, it just gets super expensive to travel. So I'm gonna create a new New picture. Oh, it's upside down. Here we go. There we go. That's what it wanted. Okay. Boom. We are in. So today's word being overgrown. Let's see. Let's see. You had a question, Devontae. I'm going to answer your question. All right. So we've got Contagious is good. I'm about halfway through. Oh, good. Kevlar. Isn't it great? Contagious is good and Made to Stick is really good. What would you do if you were unable to draw due to a freak accident that took your hands? I would write books with my voice. I would auto dictation, and I would write books. And also, there were a couple of guys out there. Francis Sa, I think TSAI, Francis Sai. He slowly lost the use of his hands. Then he started to draw with his feet. Lost the use of his feet. They created a system that could track his eye movements. He did it from there, and when his eyes started not being able to control, he could still look. He did it with his mouth and a computer screen. So the will is there. I would still create. I don't like the idea of losing my hands whatsoever, but also remember the hands don't draw. Like if I had little nubs and something to hold a pencil with, I could still move it around and get ideas across. So I might just start doing layouts for people. I don't know. Let's see. How am I doing these days? Devontae, so you're a guy from back in the image days, and you heard I'm in the music biz. I'm sort of peripherally in the music biz. I do storyboards for music videos. Have a lot of friends that work in the music business. Got to see a lot of really great things. Got to watch Rodney Jerkins work. Got to meet Luther Vandross, Clive Davis. Watched the Black Peas make Where Is the Love. Watched Fred Durst do some stuff. Not a big fan of Biscuit, but got to see that happen. So at least you know the era of it. Saw NSYNC do some recording for their Celebrity album, which was really great. When I was working in ATL, I got to go visit the Dungeon family. Also got to see Dallas Austin's setup and where he works. A lot of friends in music and super admiration. It's like my second thing that I enjoy doing. But mostly, I still do comics. Working on He-Man for DC. Doing my book, Black Flag, coming out through Creator Own. I want to create my own comic label, and eventually start having other people come on. But that's essentially what I'm up to: storyboarding TV shows, Doom Patrol, Legacies, American Saga, Tales. New one coming out from Apple Streaming with Jason Momoa. I think that's how you say his name. Called C. That's coming out. So I've been staying busy, just moving my pen. Let's see. He would learn to draw with his feet. That's right. Asking the Nightmares question. Damn scary. Just saw the opening credit to Predator set to the Full House theme song. Shoot, man, I need to see that. All right, jumping into this drawing for Overgrown. So what I'm seeing is this guy here. And we're going to do a crazy gesture like this. So I see this pretty clearly in my mind's eye, and that's where things begin. And we've had some episodes dedicated how to get better and train the mind's eye. So I see this old guy with his hand on his hip like this. Maybe even in his back pocket. Yeah, let's do that. Put it in his back pocket. Like that. You know what? You can, though. Watch this, Matt Yackey. I'm going to do something for you, and I'll tell you why. Because you're Matt Yackey. Post any link that you'd like, because you are now a moderator. Matt Yackey, first moderator of the Couchdoodles show. That's how that shit works. When you've known me for 20 years and have the trust that Matt Yackey has, I trust Matt Yackey implicitly. He is the man. I've been to across the ocean with this dude. I've seen things with this man that are of legend. So you're now a moderator, Matt Yackey. Moderator Matt Yackey. All right. So I'm drawing this guy. I'm feeling he's probably kind of Jim Henson-y too. The thing that I see in my head. Bam, look at that link. That's amazing. So now you guys can leave my show. Unless you could open 2 windows. I don't know if you could do that. But I definitely want to see that. And I know I'll be checking it out. Mr. Milton. It's magic. I've also known Mr. Milton for more than 20 years. And trust him implicitly. So those are your 2 moderators, Mr. Matt Yackey and Mr. Milton. That's right, Mr. Milton. Mr. Milton, moderator. There we go. All right, so I'm drawing this guy, trying to think of how to do it. Oh my gosh. It's almost like a trend. It's almost like a trend. We have 3 moderators now. And that's where I'm capping it. And that, no offense to anybody else, we just need to have 3 moderators. We got 2 mics and a Matt. I got my 3 M's in the house. Mike Green, Matt Yackey, Mike Milton. 3 M's, 3 moderators. They start with M. They can post links and such. They get my trust. Back to the drawing. Okay, so this guy that I'm doing, the idea in my mind's eye is that he is kind of like one of those Rip Van Winkle type dudes. I'm going to go in on his face because I really want to go in on his face. He's like one of those Rip Van Winkle type dudes. And he's been out of it for so long that his shit's overgrown. What up, Star-Lord? Shout out to Star-Lord. Thanks for joining, man. We are drawing overgrown. I'm going to do a little split screen so we can have some split screen fun. I'm going to do A is this one. B is this one. So now you get a little bit of column A and column B. So I can look over here. I can look up. Life is good. Life is good. Oh, these guys aren't, these moderators are no way thugs. These are amazing gentlemen. Matt Yackey is a longtime friend, colorist supreme, and just overall great dude. He's got great taste, funniest motherfucker, best road buddy that I've ever rolled with. He can turn a 6-hour trip into something that feels like less than 90 minutes. That's what rolling with Matt Yackey is like. Mr. Milton, that guy, Mike, he has my heart. Mr. Milton has my heart forever. I love this man. Known him since, you said it was 98, right? Chicago, 98. Has been there with me, for me, through ups and downs, good times and bad. And Mike Green, you know why. Because Mike Green is he knows me better than I know myself when it comes to my career, and he knows what's good for me, and tells me things like bring back Black Flag, and he's been there since the days of Berserkers, and used to have some visits back in the day in WonderCon, and you can find him in a music video I directed. If you guys look up Sweet Revenge, Washed Out, he plays the role of the man. So he gets my trust and respect as well, and y'all get my respect. It's just as we get to know each other, that's when the trust comes, and eventually we'll have some kind of crazy get together. I think that would be fun. Let's see. That's funny, Matt. I didn't realize there was that much smiling in that movie. It's true. Akuma, yeah. Akuma, He-Man launches November 20th. So it is coming out November 20th. The very first signing that I'll be doing. And Matt, you should join in on this. I should mention it to the shop owner. There's a shop up by my house called Kapow. And the 23rd, they want to do a He-Man signing. So we can do our thing. I think you need to be there for that. And then 2 weeks later, I will be up in Knoxville for Marble City Comic-Con, along with other special guests like Kevin Smith and Jay Muse of Jay and Silent Bob fame. Well, you know Kevin Smith from other things. Oh man, he is. He's got wrench power, bro. Nobody get out of line. If you do it, I kill you. Oh, speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you guys see, it'll probably end up being a California commercial because it was for the Clippers. But if you guys see this ESPN commercial with Arnold and Linda Hamilton working out with some basketball players, I storyboarded that. November 12th is your birthday, Akuma? Heck yeah. That's a good day. November 12th is a good day. My buddy Dan Plagle, his birthday is the 11th. Yours is the 12th, so that'll be an easy one to remember. Sadly, November 10th is a sad day for me. That was the day my mom passed away from complications from cigarettes. Gotta love that. Don't mean to bring you down. Let's see. WonderCon 96, first time. Yep, Oakland. Time for Jitsu mat time. I'll be back in an hour. All right, man. Enjoy yourself. Be well. So the thing I'm going to do with this guy here that we're drawn on Overgrown is I want to do some things in a separate layer once we get some of these details in. So I'm starting in with his mustache, and then we're gonna go a little crazy with his beard, and you'll see what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna come back to this area here in the layers part, but I've got an idea for Overgrown that it seems kind of fun for me. All right, I'm gonna do this, and you'll see where it's going once I get this extra layers in here. Halloween was your due date. Awesome. They cut you out of there. Yeah, my son's due date, which is really funny. Harrison, who you guys have all met, his due date was roughly around there, November 12th, 13th, and he came 5 weeks early. His birthday is this Sunday. He's going to be a mighty 6 years old. He was bummed when I told him that you guys were asking about him. He's like, I'll just stay up late. I was like, you can't. It's a school night. Then start your stream early. Like, he was trying every angle. And I don't know if you guys I can't really start it at 7:30. What up, Brewster Puncher? Spencer, my man. It's good to see you, sir. We are drawing the word overgrown. We are having fun with this guy and his overgrown beard. But that's not all. That's not all that it's gonna be when all is said and done. And I'm gonna do those extra fun details in a separate layer because I'm enjoying that technique and being able to be additive. I had a term when I worked at Mattel, and it was called betterification. We need to betterify this. Like, you take something that's good and throw some better sauce on it. But we try to betterify it, and I feel like that layer technique has the potential to be a better fire. I'm scribbling some layouts for nonsense. Man, I love doing layouts, and I hate doing layouts. I love doing finishes, and I hate doing finishes. It's a weird thing, It's like you can be eating your favorite meal and then just be like, yo, I can't have another bite. I'm tired of it. But you realize, like, no, that's what you got to eat for the next couple days. So that's what sometimes it feels like when you're in different steps. It's like, for sure gets favorite meal status, but also for sure gets that, like, yo, I could use a little. It's like when I'm doing layouts, I wish I was penciling. When I was penciling, I wish I was doing layouts. Like, it's just a funny deal like that. But you guys are doing well. That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that people are doing well. I'll give you guys a little update on where we're at minutes-wise, because I've been starting to keep a little track of where we are minutes-wise for the show. We are at hours. We are at 810 hours. So we are, around a 3190 away from, 2190. My goodness. Yes? No? My brain is not mathing right now. 3190. There we are. I was right the first time. We are on our way to the 4,000 hours, and I want to thank you guys for that. That's some good stuff. They had a time to breathe. All right. So I'm drawing our guy. I'm going to take myself out of this picture right now, just so we can get a little more room for Homeboy's beard. So this was one of the ones that I saw pretty incredibly clear in my mind when I decided that this was what I was going to do. And I can't really chalk any one thing to why some days are clearer than others. I really don't know. I think it's one of those things that I will end up investigating because, that's what I like to do. I like to get to the bottom of things. What do you do to motivate yourself to do a task that you hate or just dreading to do? Honestly, like, I'm gonna pop this on right now so I can look at the camera. It's all of the times that I didn't do it, like the time I got fired from Black Panther, times like that, or wishing I had more time on things and having to rush it. It's that sort of fear. Sometimes it's the fumes in the bank account, right? I have a household of 7 here, and while my wife does all of the amazing cooking and cleaning and a lot of the making lunches for the kids for school, I am the financial provider for 7 people. So this is the stuff that I go, I better get up, I better do this. I'm tired of shit, but I gotta do it. And what I find a lot of the time is getting started is the hard part. Getting into it is pretty easy, and there's this sort of wonderful thing that happens afterwards. And the only thing I can really equate it to is, like, I don't know if any of you guys do any running. It's been a while since I've ran, but I remember I used to dread it. I go, oh shit, I don't want to run. And then probably about a mile into the run, you get this, like, it's the endorphins kicking, and you're like, I'm so glad I did. You got that feeling of, I'm so glad I did. But pain avoidance. There you go. A two-word answer is pain avoidance. There you go. That's my answer. Pain avoidance. So I got this guy. He's kind of our little Rip Van Winkle dude. Give him some fun little knee pads, because I don't know what he does, but he does something that needs them. Like the comic book Black Flag. That was a line in Definition of Cool, was like the comic book Black Flag, blasting Emacs, putting fools in body bags. And I had some mentions of Pulp Fiction. So you get a little bit of an idea of when this... I go and see a movie and I'm good to go. I go and get my ticket. I see a fine woman sitting in the front row. So here I am talking about the front row at Pulp Fiction. So that gives you a bit of a frame of when these were done. See that? That's called a mistake that I just did. But the good thing about digital, again, is we are able to make adjustments. So I want to give him longer legs than the legs I gave him. But suddenly those legs are betraying our perspective. So in order to get our perspective the way I want it, I'm going to make this adjustment right here by making the beard longer. And then I can say that this is here and those are back there. So now is the part where we're going to do the other layer, and I'm going to add all those little fun details that I was talking about that I see in my mind's eye. So what I saw was flowers growing, and then you'll see I'm going to do a third layer after this, where I'll do some what you would, if this was like secondary additive details, that other one will be tertiary, okay, which is just a fancy word for the third. What up, Shane? How are you, sir? Yeah, if ZZ Top was, if their beard had that special Rogaine, that would be what was going on in this particular drawing. we're at 55 minutes, so we've got about 25 minutes left. Like I was saying, the He-Man layouts got approved. So especially this week, I've got multiple projects that I need to parse through. And some of my days are going to end up being 16-hour days. And then, 17 and a half if we want to count the hour and a half that we're all together doing our thing. And I happily do it. I will be tired. I won't be burned out, though. That's the beauty of the human condition. It's like we end up being able to do things that we didn't think were possible just by the act of adding a little bit each day. Like I talked about this concept before that Tim Robbins has, and it's called CANI, CANAI, and it's an acronym for constant and never-ending improvement, right? You go, wait a second, that's a lot. Like, how can you always be improving? And it's not necessarily always improving. When he says constant, what he means is not going backwards. I believe what he means is what do you call it? The idea that don't ever do less than you did yesterday. Do either more or the same, but never do less. And what we end up doing is we end up adapting as humans. I mean, that's just the human condition. That's how it works out. Throwing our friend the little butterfly in there for the old S and G's. Call those the shits and giggles. Much love to you too, Akuma. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of you guys, and if I've met you before and we've met at shows, it'll be good to see you again, and then you could say, yo, I'm Akuma on the YouTube. Be like, oh, sweet, man. Like I said, it'd be fun to at least try to do some sort of get together. I'm sure a lot of you guys are all over the place, but how cool would that be? I think that would be a whole lot of fun. So I'm gonna give him some skeleton keys to go along with his weirdness. A bracelet. A little bit of a rip on the pants, because you know how I like my rips. Some fuzzy boots. And then some overgrown grass and some vines trailing up and over. Don't worry, we will get to that tertiary bit in a moment. Tampa. I've never been to Tampa. I've been to Miami and Orlando a bunch of times, but I've not been to Tampa. I'm sure you deal with the kind of humidity that we've got here in the Atlanta area. got some cool rings. Put some twine around these sticks. Right, so now we're going to go into this other layer and do our little overlap deletion, right? Anything that this stuff needs to be overlapping and covering, we come in and we pull those non-essential details out. Doesn't look like much is happening on your screen, I'm sure, but I'm doing some cleanup of that stuff underneath our new layer here to clean it up, and then we'll come in and do those tertiary finishes like I promised. So I'm gonna bring this opacity up. I'm gonna merge this down. I'm gonna bring the opacity on this down, and let's get our tertiary details. So what I wanted to do with our tertiary details is add some beard hairs that were moving and coming off of some of our flowers. So some of these flowers have pulled the beard hair up and onto themselves. So you get this really nice, fun sense of overlap here. Added our friend the bird here. A little bit of flit on those wings. Do you know if Rob intends to bring back a regular Prophet comic book and Bloodstrike drawn sword? I don't know, man. That's a really wonderful question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Rob's rollout is for that stuff. I know he's got that Brigade that just came out, and he did a showstopper at LA Comic-Con. I know he's got that. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the other stuff. I know he did a Bloodstrike back in 2015. I only know that because I did a cover for it for him. That's it though. I mean, hopefully I'll talk to Rob soon, because we owe each other a conversation. Hey, what up, Comic Book Bob? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Add some shading on this guy to add a little bit of weight to his belly. A little bit of weight here underneath that leg. So these are the tertiary details. What up, Gil? Gil, I'm using Procreate software. I'm using the latest version that is out. I've been informed by their team in Australia that my request to be a beta tester has been accepted for version 5. So I'm really waiting for that. I'm super, super, super excited for it because one of the things that I want to do, I mean, there's a lot of the really cool stuff like being able to import Photoshop brushes and the whole new graphic engine and whatnot. But I mean, I'm actually really stoked about the animation parts. That's really what I'm most excited about, is the ability to animate, because I have this character named Looking for Love. He used to be called Lovebot, but there's other Lovebots out there, and also that I don't know if Lovebot should be his name, because it sounds a little like an adult party favor, so to speak. But he's this robot that's constantly looking for love. And we're gonna give this guy the circle treatment too, because I like that little graphic treatment that the that we did on Ash yesterday. It was fun for me. Hope it was fun for you, but I liked the way it turned out. So anyway, like I said, this guy was in my mind's eye when I thought of the word when I saw the word was overgrown. This guy was like one of the first things that came to my mind, was the idea of this dude. So then let's create a new layer. Do much thicker. I'm gonna throw that circle right there. Right? Edit shape, circle. I want it to be a circle. And then I'm going to rotate it so the thin part is there. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity on it slightly. And then we're going to erase out the parts we don't need. But it holds things together nicely, I feel. We got the butterfly kind of coming over it a little bit, and intersection with our sticks and things, and it's got a nice sort of vibe to it. And then we will merge down, clean it up, sign it. Overgrown. Ta-da! Here we are. Here's our drawing. Here's our guy for today's word of overgrown. I hope you guys dug it. You are watching the Couchdoodles show. I'm your host, Fragaboom. Today we just saw the drawing for the word overgrown. We've got 20 minutes left in the show. Like I said, I'm going to keep these to 90 minutes just to keep my stay to a bit of a structure. Like I said yesterday when we were talking about influences in life, my dad really had us in a grid. You know, at the time I hated it, but now I find that having a bit of organization and structure to a day makes you hit marks. You know, you go, oh, I better have this done by this time so I can do this. Otherwise the trains have to always keep running. And that's what we're going to do. And also, I think I'm going to make an attempt to try to get back in shape. I think that'll be fun. That'll be a fun thing. Gil Rivera, I'm so glad you asked that question, because two team members of the future Black Flag story, the Pineapple Perception, are on this chat. Myself and your very first moderator, Matt Yackey. Matt Yackey is our colorist. We got Adelso Corona on inks, Ken Brusnak on letters. Mr. Milton will be in the house on color assist and flatting like a maestro. And Will Perdomo is a new writer that I'm working with. And Gear Station, you're just gonna have to wait and see. That's my whatever that's supposed to be. That's what that was. Do we have, let's see, besides your Spider-Man, Lovebot is my favorite guy. Thank you, sir. Shane, I love drawing him. He's a treat to draw. I want to start doing little, I don't know about, like, I want to do animated shorts, but like more animatic shorts, because I can do about a minute in a week. That's what I did at Mattel when I would do animatics. I could do about a minute's worth, and I put in the sound effects and the music and all that stuff, and it's full featured. So what I want to do, and this is what I talked to guys like Matt Yackey and Andre Kromov about, and Andre is another one that should be a moderator, but he's not in here often enough. Booyah! I'm just kidding. It's because your name doesn't start with M, bro. No, Andre was one of the original colorists of Black Flag, one of the original computer colorers in the time. So we need to throw a glass in the sky for Andre, because Andre was one of the first innovators. We have our Steve Oliff and Laverne Kandersky over at Digital Chameleon, Clyde Nee over at I forget what they were called, something, but they did some color separations early on. But anyhow, the stuff I talked to Matt and Andre about is how we can make this show better and something really fun and exciting. Inktober is a way to kind of get it up and running. This is like I played football my sophomore year, and we had something that we called Hell Week, and we would have to go to training before school started, and we had training after school started, and it was no fun. It was literally no fun whatsoever. But at the end, we were razor sharp, and so Inktober, we're 14 days in. Hopefully, you could tell a little bit of difference between this show and others. Yo, guys, Richard Friend. Look at this. Look at this. Richard Friend is here. Rich, I have good news, man. Because I was going to either email you or tell you about it. But layouts for issue 3 got approved today. So I get to officially start penciling issue 3, and I'm super stoked. Yeah. Rich, love you, man. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to Rich's channel, it is, as his name states, it's Rich and full featured. Talks about comics. It talks about techniques, inking tools. He has great insights. He has fun Sundays where he just kind of opens up something fun and takes you for a stroll. These are guys that, like Rich, eventually I'd like to have you on the show. Trying to get Tim Seeley on the show as well, but like I said, this show, what we're trying to do is create something where there's some structure to it, where we have skits, where we have, I'm able to put pre-rolled video on. I want to go out and shoot some stuff, like when I go out to a convention, shoot that convention, show you what that convention was like, cut it together, put some music, and have like a 3-minute video within our live show. Because I like the live show format. It's a lot of fun, and it's a really fantastic way to get feedback, which is like the best part for me, is being able to talk to you guys. Look at this. You guys are watching, you're watching some He-Man business happen live. You got Rich who is the magnificent inker of He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. You have Matt Yackey, who's the colorist. You have Mr. Milton, who's working on flats, and you have myself. The only person you're missing is Tim Seeley, and like I said, I'm going to try to get him on the show. Let's see. We've got 15 minutes left, and I am going to jump in on. Let's see what we can find on the iPad. So I've already shown you guys the our cool guy for Overgrown. Let me I gotta add the camera. Anytime I turn the iPad off, it cuts it out of the stream, so I have to go into the OBS and bring it back. So here we are. We're on our old man, and we are gonna do a little bit of I think since D has a copy of it, I think what we'll do is go in and take a look at portions of the studio. And the studio had Jeff Jones, Michael Kaluta, Bernie Wrightson, and Barry Windsor Smith. They were literally a amazing lightning in a bottle. The fact that you had these gentlemen in one place doing the level of work that they were doing when they were doing the work is pretty incredible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the Barry Smith portion. You can see I'm scrolling past the Kaluta, and then we're going to jump into Barry Smith because he was one of those guys that was super influenced. And what I like to do on this book is I like to take a look and try to feel the slice of life that's happening. And what I mean by that is currently I'm looking at Barry and Jeff Jones sitting on a couch with like paint test behind them. You see the image back here, and it's blurry, but I know it's the girl screaming with her hair going all crazy. So you know this was taken after that was drawn. That desk lamp, I have that exact same desk lamp because Liefeld, it was the one in the 501 jeans commercial, and Liefeld was going to throw it out, and I asked him if I could have it, and he gave it to me. So, you know, Deadpool, Cable, X-Force were created under that light, and then later on Black Flag was created under that light. So I still have that lamp and love it. In this picture, you can see Barry Smith talking to Bernie. Don't know what they're talking about. I really dig the composition, though, with the lamp in the foreground. You get sort of a real cool sense of space. You look at this picture, again, you're looking at a genuine studio, not a computer in sight. This is the 70s. Here's Barry again, shooting some sort of reference, but look at that concrete floor, all that photo ref. You can see back in the background here, he's got some peacock feathers. And this is just one page of the studio. I mean, it's not even like a page, it's an accent, right? And we get right into Barry Smith, and we see his luscious stuff, you know, Medusa, this lady with the snake hair and that cast shadow across her face really just gives the idea of dimensions. Yeah, so some of this stuff, Rich, to answer your question, some of this stuff I archive my own, and then I have a network of people that, you know, we kind of have a pact that like any of this stuff that we have to own, because I'm not like, especially when it comes to this stuff, I don't want to have any pirating involved. The only time I pirate something, quote unquote pirate something, is if I can't get a hold of it myself, if I just can't find it, like if it's out of print, or if it's like, oh, to have a copy of that is $1,000. No thanks. I think I'll, you know, look at it on comiconline.to or something, you know. But for the most part, like this scan came from one of my buddies, and then I gave him a scan of my Akira storyboards, because I have both the storyboard book and the Blu-ray. We have lost the stream, it seems. We have lost the stream. It says we're still going, so we'll just keep going, and hopefully it won't go stream down. There we go. We're back up. Yeah, see, Rich, you just brought up the spine on regarding your studio book. That's one of the main reasons we made sure to get a scan of this, because the spine on the studio and the spine on a look back, I don't know what those guys were using as far as the glue that they had. But it cracked, like it gets brittle and it breaks. So yeah, whenever anybody would come over to my studio and look at my studio, what would end up happening is I would ask them to be very ginger and hold the edge and like all that. So it's kooky times, kooky times. Yeah, we're at 10 minutes. Thank you, moderator man. That's great. I'm glad. Well, it dropped for me for a while. Here's another really great piece. And this is one of the things that I really liked about Barry's stuff is he grew leaps and bounds when he was on Conan. If you'd seen his earlier Avengers work, it was kind of using a Kirby-esque style. Then he came back and he had like a Renaissance Raphaelite sort of vibe to his stuff. And here, this one's a bit quirky, but he's really, really playing the concept of lighting here, right? And it gives you a sense of geography of like where things are. So he's got the sundial. Everything is casting that shadow in that way, whether it's this bag or this pagan person that he had drawn. Really, just a really fun thing. There's the instance of peacock feathers. Here again is a really fun piece, and what's really excellent about this, and I'm not sure what process they used. I've never seen this original, but it seems to me that frame was hand drawn. And when you think about it, obviously you have this drawing of this vulture and the overgrown roots on the rock and the sword and what looks to be Conan and the busy signature. But then you have this ornate frame that didn't have to be this ornate, He did it again here, so obviously this was a set of prints, I would assume, through Gorblimey Press. I had a set of prints, and I wish it was in here, but he had drawn this 4-set print where different warriors were standing on different parts of the island, and you would have one guy with a spear in the foreground, and far in the background you have a guy holding out a sword. Then you'd see another print that was the guy with a sword holding it out close up, but behind him would be a guy with an axe. And then you go to the axe guy, and behind him would be like, a guy in like some other pose, like maybe he's got a mace or something. Then you go to the mace guy, and you're back to the guy in the back. The guy in the background is the guy in the sphere. So you get the idea that these guys are standing around each other, so all the prints go together. That was like one of my favorite things. Yeah, Rooster Puncher, the fixing, the horse glue and all that, I think that would be fun to fix for sure. I end up becoming an archivist and just putting the stuff away and not touching it. Here's another really strong piece. But let's go, since we only have 5 minutes left. Let's go and find the one I'm looking for, and it was the one that, like, when I saw it, there it is, Pandora. This, I don't know if you guys recall Black Flag number 2, where Gorilla is inside of Spot's treehouse. and I had built in all these shelves. And the reason I had done that was because of this piece. I just love the idea. And again, Rich, you're here, and I know sometimes it sounds like I'm bagging, but like, for example, when I hear someone like Norm tell me you don't need to be putting this much work in, you don't need to put this much detail in, you could always, whatever. I think of pieces like this, and I know a comic book page maybe, we have to, like, I watched your How to Draw a Monthly comic, and I agree that you don't want to go overboard or you get burnt out. But like, when I find comics that I could go back and look at, and this is 1975, I'm a 2-year-old when this guy drew this, and I could just zoom and zoom and zoom, and yes, this is blurry, but that's incredible upon itself. Then there's that print we looked at right there in the background. See that Conan with the vulture? We looked at that, but he redrew it here and redrew that frame, and it's sitting on a shelf in this one piece. And obviously we get that really nice sort of arced, we got the diamond composition, but we get that storytelling that she pulled whatever out in that nice arc, which frames her. You get the idea of the shadow and what's going on, but there's just all of this attention to detail, that stained glass, that glass of wine, this little creature coming out, and look at this magic effect. That alone is worth the price of admission, right? So this is one of those pieces that I call, barn busters, or a friend of mine, his name is G State Warrior. He photographs beautiful women, and a lot of them are like, not many clothes on, and they're fun to look at. I like women's form and everything, but whenever he posts something that, like, I call it a scroll pause, right? You're scrolling, that's cool, and then you go, you stop and you come back and you pause, a scroll pause. So I find Barry's stuff to be scroll pauses. Oh my god, look at this. This is some stuff. And speaking of some stuff, I implore you guys to check out Rich's Instagram. Rich posted something today which is so detailed and so lush. It has this feeling, it's unto itself. It doesn't look like anybody but Rich, but it has this sort of consideration for light and detail and texture. And this is 1975. These guys were busy, and they were busy creating these incredible masterpieces. There's that piece I said, that girl screaming at herself with the hair, because the book is on fire. This was the pic was in the background of that other picture, which was kind of interesting to see. And Apollo and Francesca. This was a study, and here's Artemis and Apollo. Here's an unfinished version, and like, there was one thing in here. It was this lamp, and there was this lighting that was being cast off this lamp. I don't remember if it's in this one or the other one, but I remember looking. It might be in the previous one. I remember looking at it and just thinking, like, good God, and maybe it wasn't in that piece, but he had all this lighting coming off. Looks like we're gonna jump into somebody else, but this Bernie writes, and we're approaching the hour and a half mark. But before we do that, I wanted to show Rich this, so you're a homie, and I know you have an actual copy of it. But this is my look back scan, and the great thing about the scans, which I find to be excellent, is the ability to do this, to be able to go in and really look. Obviously we all look at the book and we get into it as we do, because we've had copies, and it is a book of legend. But I'll tell you, being able to do this really changes everything. So okay, man, this is it. This is it. I'm gonna close out the iPad with the hour 30. I will open the floor for one question, and I will answer that one question, and then from there we'll close out. I'm going to take a sip of wine, because this is behind the scenes stuff, so I know that I've asked the question, and I could see myself raise the glass, so I know I've asked it. And you're hanging with my little buddy, the fish. It's not a fish, it's a moon man, but he looks like a fish to me. He looks like a fish guy, but he's the moon man. And we've got our wider angle, which is cooler and creepier. And I'm going to change the color of our lights. Oh man, stream went offline again. Hopefully. It hasn't died yet. So as it's doing this, I guess we don't have any times for questions. I'm going to close out the show. Hopefully the stream will continue. Oh, look, it's back. It's back. There we go. And I changed the light over to a bluish color, so we will see. Yeah. All right, gang. I want to say thank you very much for hanging. Sorry about the stream doing what it does. I think when we have multiple sources coming in, multiple cameras, multiple angle, and switching back and forth, it'll get a little kooky. So yeah, we're about a minute behind. That's how I know. But I did raise the glass, so last call, as Mr. Milton puts it. Last call. There we go. All right, you guys, once Inktober is over, how often do you think you'll do the show? Weekly, twice a week, etc.? Matt Yackey is coming in with the zipper of a question. I think I'm going to do it as much as I can. And what I mean by that is I will still aim for the daily. I think I'll still aim for the daily because those muscles will be built up. And then, some of those days you can come in and run the show. I think that would be the best way. How do we get Richard on a horror book? I think somebody's got to draw one. And that's it. Remember when my dad sat down with you in Pittsburgh and the chair I was sitting in, people thought I was Scott McDaniel? I do remember that. That was funny. That was a funny time. I love Pittsburgh. I missed that show. All right, gang. This is the end of our show. And we will have another one tomorrow. I don't know what the prompt word is. No, it is. Tomorrow's word is legend. Tomorrow's word is legend. Rich, thanks for joining, man. Hopefully we can do something like a Google Hangout where we can both be on and have a bit of a conversation. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, guys, happy Monday to you. Have a wonderful week. Here's my sculpt, my very first face sculpt I've ever done, using a toothpick and no reference, using Super Sculpey. It's my new hobby. Peace out. You've been watching the Couchdoodles Show with your host, Fragaboom.
IMC, the face to beat, Fragaboom!